Hello, beautiful, light-filled souls. Thanks to those of you who signed up for my spiritual community. I love hearing from you and hearing your stories on your journey. It's such an honor. I recently have been obsessed with the images coming from the James Webb telescope, and the one behind me is an image that I saw during my near-death experience, which is this is the Carina Nebula, and it is 7,500 light years away from planet Earth. So when I died, the first images, as many of you know, were in a hospital room where I was dying on the operating table. And I saw light beings working on my body. But when they had to revive me, I no longer wanted to stay in that room. And I saw my stepdad get a candy bar. I transitioned into the night sky where I just felt this oneness and peace with everyone I had known. My heart just wished them well. But then I transitioned to a place that looks very much like this. When I see this image, it feels familiar, and I get goosebumps, and I'm just kind of shocked that you can travel that fast. So, I've ridden in Teslas, I've ridden in very fast cars that go from 0 to 60 in, seconds, but to go from the night sky to 7,500 light years away like that, now that's fast. And I guess without a physical form, that's possible. If you can go through walls, you can also travel at light speed. And so it's very difficult to put near-death experiences into words. I keep trying because I have a lot of words. I'm an English major, and I want very much to express what this is like to those of you who are interested and those of you who want to know what the experience felt like. But to be in this place was exciting. I mean, imagine floating in the Carina Nebula and you can breathe, and you're just looking at these amazing starscapes, and it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And then at the same time, this light, this intelligence is coming towards you and showing you things about your life. And that's what happened to me. So parts of my life were projected into this scene, a scene very much like this one. And I learned that being in balance with nature, meditating in nature like I did as a child, being in balance with animals, this is a beautiful thing in the eyes of the Creator. God wants us to be in balance with nature, not out of balance with the living creatures here and with the plants and all that is given to us. Creator, God, also wants us to be in harmony and balance with other people and not to judge them so harshly. And that's where my soul at 22 learned how not to judge people. I saw into the hearts of very lovely people, and I realized that the way people dress, their politics, their religion is not as important as their hearts. And I think this is a message that we need to remember now. You can grow with people. You can learn things from one another. You can develop greater tolerance and greater understanding by being in conversation and friendship with other people who are different from you. And you might find that a lot of times the very people who you are shutting out are part of your soul plan, part of your path, that part of this planet is about growth and expansion. And you're not going to grow by isolating yourself. You're only going to grow by putting yourself out there, connecting with others, following your dreams, what you're passionate about, but also supporting others and living in harmony. So from this perspective, which is a really far out perspective, that term that people used, I think it was in the 60s, that's far out, man. Well, 7,500 light years away is pretty far out. And I'm sure someone has called me out there. Actually, a former dean called me weird, which hurts. But, that's his judgment, not mine. I'm not weird. I bring a very far away, detached perspective to Earth, a perspective that eases anxiety. Because listen, if you're not afraid of death, if you can check that one off the list, then a lot of things just become easier. And that's often what near-death experiences give people, is this understanding that death isn't death, it's birth into this new realm. It's birth into travel in a way, astro travel in a way that you never even dreamed possible. It is being close to the creator of all that is, who is so unconditionally loving and cares for each of us and believes that we are each special and unique and wonderful. I think a lot of near-death experiencers, when they first have this experience, feel so different. And it's great that there are Facebook groups and INs and many different communities that remind people that you're not alone. A lot of people have had these experiences, and you don't have to isolate yourself or feel odd. You have a perspective that can be beautiful and can be healing, especially in very divided times, in times when people jump very easily to hate one another and say awful things to one another online. And really, they should be guiding their consciousness to focus on what they want to create, on the beauty that they want to experience in their lives. That when you spend this energy hating other people, it drags you down. It becomes a part of you, and is not a healthy way to live. It's a torturous way to live, and that's not what this life experience should be. This life experience is meant to be enjoyed. There are so many benefits to our natural world, and since we are in body, I think that one of the clear messages from my near-death experience is remind them to go to nature. And if we depend too much on technology and keep looking for all of the answers within our phones and within places through technology, we're going to forget that there are healing codes that are transmitted to us through nature, that our stress levels go down when we're in nature, that trees literally are happy to see us. And I know that sounds far out there or out there, but I'm reminded of my dad, who he told me this story about one of his college professors in the 60s who stood, and he was a biology professor, and he stood in front of trees and talked to the leaves and talked to the trees. And my dad thought that was a little bit odd. I'm sure lots of students did, but now we know that talking to plants helps them grow, that energy affects things. Our energy literally affects our computers, the world around us, so of course it affects our pets and our loved ones. And so working on your energy, working on your consciousness, moving it towards what you want in this world is one of the many things that I try to teach students to decrease their anxiety. I teach them to imagine their success, to work toward that, because we are made up of the very things that the stars are made up of. We have calcium in our bones, we have iron within us, and to think that we're not a part of something magical is doing a disservice to our lives. There are unseen forces, I think, angelic forces, that sometimes guide us in ways that may not make sense in the moment, but they make sense later. And there has to be a certain amount of faith in this life process, that we're born and we die. And it's more than just that. There's this afterlife that is absolutely fantastic. And I think near-death experiencers, we sound like we're cheerleaders for death in a way sometimes. And that's not what I'm putting forth. I'm putting forth this idea of be passionate and loving about your path, what you want to accomplish, give other people a break, look into their hearts and see what they're about, offer people your appreciation instead of your judgment, or at least your open-mindedness to see what it is that they're about, and support them, because oftentimes we're not in conflict with one another. We're just doing different things. And that's what makes up the wild circus ride that this is here on Earth. And it's a very short ride. And that's the way it seems on the other side. When you can go 7,500 light years away from Earth like that, then looking at what goes on in this planet, the main thing, it makes so much sense to me now, is yeah, love is all that matters. It's all that we take with us. So what we loved, as you love your pets, as you love certain people, as you love the things that you love, that's what you take with you when your soul flies free of all of this. So love and love more. um, Try to create harmony and decrease judgment wherever possible, and know that no matter what you're going through, what challenge, there are angels that support you, even if you don't feel them. There is a loving God that you can turn to. And I'm not going to get into all the particulars of religion. I get criticized so often by devout Christians who don't understand that part of acceptance is accepting all religions, and part of tolerance is just having this open mind and not saying that I'm better than you or I know more than you. Sometimes near death experiencers come back and they have an agenda and they have, a point of view, but being that far away from Earth really kind of took away a lot of my agendas, other than, hey, how can I support people on their journeys, and how can I create more harmony and more love on this planet? And how can I remind people to be in balance with their eating habits, to eat less processed food, and focus on what is truly healthy for the body, what is healthy for the mind, what is healing for the soul. And energy is healing. And I know not everyone is open to this idea, but it is. And that's another message from the other side, is that all prayers, all wishes of love, all energy that we send to one another can be felt, especially, once you leave the body. You understand who loved you, and that's fine. That's all that you need to know, is love is an energy and it outlasts this body. So there have been many times when I have wanted to see that starscape that happened during my near-death experience, and I'm shocked that I actually have a picture of it now. It blows my mind, and now I know that part of my near-death experience was that far away. So if I seem a little far out, I was far out. So everybody have a great day, and may you be blessed.